Hello, Jordan.
What's up, Michael?
Jordan, how do you feel about baths?
I don't like baths.
Why don't you like baths?
Dude, it's so interesting. I never would have thought you'd start the conversation with this. It's fun. Like, even just hearing the word bath, I'm just like, ugh. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of it. You know what? And you know what's really funny? I love hot tubs, but I hate baths. I love a hot tub.
That was literally my point. You just took my point from me. Well done.
I steel-manned myself.
I like baths for people who like baths, but I myself don't like baths.
Yeah. I mean, if you like it, great. I don't know. I feel like most people don't like baths. They've only started to like baths because they can post they're taking a bath on social media.
People post their bath on social?
Bro, where have you been? You used to
Isn't
be
that a little
the
raunchy?
social media... Bro, there's
No, I
legitimate porn on social media. You think showing your toes in the bath is raunchy? There's actual pornography on social media.
That's
It's
true.
like-
I wasn't sure what kind of bath photos we were talking about, all right?
I mean, it's not like butt cheeks spread open, hey, here's my bath. It's more like, hey, here's my bath table that I put over the bath and the book and the candle and like very high up on my thigh type picture. Like, oh, I just happen to have my leg just outside the bubbles type thing. You know what I mean?
It's literally why I deleted Twitter again is death and nudity. Or like, I had it off my phone for 2 weeks. I came back and I told you the first thing I saw, I might have actually said this on the podcast already, but the subway hitting the guy and then like porn bot replies to random tweets. Like, ugh. But okay. So baths are trendy is what you're saying. And you're just not a huge fan.
I don't know. I feel like a bath is a whole big Megillah. You got to set the bath up. You've got the bath bomb. You've got to do all this stuff. Whereas the hot tub, like, it's ready to go. Like, you walk up, boom, and it's just you jump in and you're good.
Hot tubs are incredible. I'm a huge fan of hot tubs. But I'm with you. Baths, I find uncomfortable. I find like a lot of work. I find I have to take a shower afterwards because you like have residue.
Your
shit. Well, and just from the soap and the bubbles, like you can't really. And then if your bath and shower are separate, you're using multiple things. For some reason, because it's outside, I feel like I enjoy hot tubs more. Whereas being in hot water indoors makes me like overheat. Yeah,
and I've never been in a bath that's like comfortable to sit in. Hot tubs, like they have seats
bigger.
and bigger, and you can move around and you can, it's more comfortable. Whereas baths, it's like, where do I rest my head? It's going into my neck. Like, you know, it's just not, my tailbone is hurt. It's not comfy.
You don't have to worry about getting water everywhere. A hot tub, you can sit on the edge. It's like you go 5 minutes in. Oh, I'm starting to get hot. I'll get out for 5 minutes. I'll get back in. I'll let my feet dangle in. I feel like there isn't a lot of room for flexibility in baths. You're just neck deep in hot water.
Yeah, and unless you shower before, hot water, like with all your filth on.
I'm okay with that. I feel like that builds immunity.
Interesting. Okay.
But I would want to wash it off before I proceeded with my life afterwards.
Before you get in your bed.
For sure. For sure. We have so many things this week, Jordan. We have so many things.
Oh, everyone, if you are enjoying the podcast, please leave a 5-star review. It would be super helpful. We really, really appreciate the 5-star reviews, the shares on social media. If you're enjoying it and you know you have other friends or people who you're connected with on social media, tag the podcast and tell people to listen. It would mean the world to us. Make sure you tag us as well. Hopefully we'll see it. But we appreciate everyone who's left a review already. And if you haven't left a review or shared it on social media, it would mean a lot to us.
Jordan just threw a right hook as I was about to do a soft mention. So now I'm going to hold my soft mention for next week. People in the mentorship will get a kick out of the,
just toss it
the
out.
references. I'm literally so against throwing multiple jabs / soft mention / like it just dilutes the whole thing, making multiple asks in a row. So we'll wait for next week. But
okay.
I had 2 announcements. One of them will wait for next week. The other one is something that we're going to mention at the end of the podcast. Jordan doesn't even know what it is yet. It's
I don't
going to
know
be
what
very
anything
exciting.
we do is. I never know. I didn't know you were going to ask about baths. I don't know anything that you're going to do.
It's going to be very exciting at the end of the episode. Make sure you listen to the whole thing because it's a whole new structure to the end of the podcast that is going to be a real throwback, and it's going to be enjoyable definitely for the listener and definitely for me. And Jordan isn't going to care.
I think I know what it is.
Wow, you don't. I'm actually going to let you guess.
I can't prove this butt.
No, you don't like I can't prove this butt?
No, I do like it.
Oh, but I said you'd be neutral. I thought you didn't like it?
Neutral. Dude, if you thought I would be neutral, then I was neutral with it. I was neutral with I can't prove this butt.
Oh, I thought if we did I can't prove this butt, you'd be excited. This you're actually going to be like literally neutral for. You're going to be like, oh, I don't care.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
You know what? I'm going to we're going to play the number game. Pick a number 1 through 8.
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. I have a truly unpopular opinion.
Okay.
Like not one that you say, this is an unpopular opinion, but everyone's going to like it, so you get good engagement on your post. I mean,
it's not like a hook. It's like you actually legitimately have an unpopular opinion that people are not going to like.
No one's going to like this.
Okay.
Steak is overrated.
Okay. Say more.
Okay. The cost relative to ground beef does not justify the difference in taste and enjoyability relative to ground beef, right? So if steak is, I don't know. I actually don't know what it is. It depends on what cut you get, but let's say it's twice as expensive, could be 3 times as expensive, could
Easily,
be much more than that if we're thinking about a nice restaurant and their prices rather than their costs, 5, 10 times more expensive. I find steak like marginally more enjoyable and sometimes less enjoyable than ground beef. Personally, I digest ground beef way better than I digest steak. I find the taste of a really good steak is unbelievable. And don't get me wrong, I like steak. It's just so popular among people who eat it that I think it has become overrated.
It's funny. I wouldn't have expected you to say that at the beginning, but after you broke down like relative cost, how it makes you feel, like that, I agree with that. And for just for everyone who doesn't understand, like overrated doesn't mean you don't like it. I know you love a good steak. Like you love steak, but
steak's
overrated
amazing.
For like all things considered, all topics considered, all characteristics considered, it's overrated. I agree, especially in this most recent carnivore world where everyone's like, God, you just need steak. You need steak. It's like, man, it would be such an easier way to eat carnivore if you with ground beef rather than all these ribeyes they're having.
True. Well, and you can make the point that steak is overrated as a health food amongst people who eat pounds of steak every day.
100%. Yeah.
Saturated fat in moderate quantities is fine, of course, but if we're talking about, fatty cuts of meat being your primary source of protein and eating high amounts of it every single day for years on end, that's bad for your health.
100%. Yep.
I got another random little point that's more of a black swan on it, but risk of choking / death on steak exists, whereas it really doesn't exist with ground beef. There's actually a phenomenon if you Google like steakhouse death, there's articles warning about this and written about this where they'll find people dead in steakhouse bathrooms because they choke. I think maybe we talked about this a couple years ago. They choke, they get embarrassed, they can't talk. They go to the bathroom, like maybe they're at a business dinner, they don't feel comfortable. They go to the bathroom and they die in there rather than, doing if you're ever choking, you're supposed to do the universal sign of choking, both hands across your neck, like signal I'm choking. And hopefully someone there's trained in the Heimlich can give it to you, get that piece of whatever out and you'll be okay. But that's like a, 0.01% factor.
Isn't that what didn't your dad walk away from the table when he was choking?
Yeah.
And then you went up and you saved him? But
yeah.
Did you know that he he didn't say, hey, he didn't like do the universal signal. He just got up and went away.
Yeah. So if someone can make noise, they're usually okay. If they can cough, if they can talk, then they have some airway open and should be able to cough it up on their own. If they can't make any noise, that's when you're in trouble, like serious trouble. And he couldn't make any noise. And so I saw him walk over there and that was a couple years back.
Did you say, why did you walk away, man? Like, you're supposed to let us know.
No, it's a natural reaction. I get it, but
Man.
yeah. That was very scary. Pick another number.
Ground beef could save your life.
I
No more
mentioned
steak
it last
for me or my family.
I mentioned it last because it's not like a deciding factor, obviously, but it's a very, a straw that could break the camel's back.
Have you ever choked on pasta or spaghetti?
I don't think so. I chew my food very thoroughly.
Your whole life? You've never choked on it?
I mean, what do you mean choked? Like coughed, like swallowed it without chewing it all and then like coughed up a little bit, or like needed a Heimlich?
No, there was one time, I remember one time when I was a kid, I was choking on my like spaghetti.
Okay.
And this is like the only time I've ever really choked. And I was sitting at my kitchen table and I was freaking out because I put a lot of grated cheese on it, so it was dry. It wasn't like slippery spaghetti. There wasn't like, it was just dry spaghetti with I would put a lot of grated cheese on it when I was a kid because it's just so good. I would just dump it on there and mix it in. So I had this wicked dry spaghetti, and then it was just sitting a big clump of it in my throat. And I was like, oh my God. And I literally shoved my hand down my throat and pulled the spaghetti out. And my mom was like, what the fuck was that? Like, she just had no idea what happened. I was like, I was choking. I was choking. I couldn't breathe. When your mouth gets dry from something salty like grated cheese or something, it dried out and nothing was going down. So I literally had to pull it out of my mouth.
That's scary, dude.
Yeah.
That's really scary. I'm glad you pulled it out.
That's what she said. Yep.
Or she didn't. Or she didn't say that. You have only choked once in your life?
That's the only one that I vividly remember. Yeah.
Your personality, like as a kid especially, now I would imagine you eat a little more mindfully or whatever, but your personality strikes me as someone who would be a fast and like reckless eater. Not in like a binge eating way, but in like just I want to go play outside, so I'm going to eat this meal as fast as I can so I can go play outside.
Yeah, and like running while I'm eating to get outside more quickly. Yeah. Like, okay, let me just grab this, and as I'm running and inhaling deeply, let me put this food in my mouth that I won't actually chew very well. 100%. Yeah, I would do that all the time.
Yeah.
Let me go on the trampoline while I'm eating food. Like, just let me do backflips. Just stupid.
Pick another number.
2.
Okay. So I don't want to harp on the introduction I'm going to give here because I think it's kind of dumb, the idea and the software, but basically there's this app type thing. I don't even know what it's called, but you answer a whole bunch of questions and it predicts your death date.
Jeez, dude. We're just talking about choking and dying. Like, I thought this was going to be a great podcast. You put the list together. Is 1 through 8 all death?
No, it's not. And I didn't even know that the choking thing was going to be such a topic of conversation on the steak. We can go quickly on this one if you're not loving it. But basically, my question is, if you could know when you're going to die,
no,
you couldn't change it, and would you want to know?
No, of course not.
Interesting.
Would you want to know?
I heard this discussion on the radio this morning, and all of the radio hosts said no, they wouldn't want to know. Yeah, I think I would.
That makes sense. So you could plan ahead of time. You could get everything in order. It's like, yeah, like why wouldn't I want to know? Just so I can make sure everything is done. I need to get done.
Planned, like, I don't know. I think, that, yeah, maximize certain experiences, relationships, make decisions a little bit differently. Like, I think that I would live differently if I knew it was going to happen in 5 years or it was going to happen in 65 years.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But I don't know. I feel like I don't think we're meant to live like that. But also I feel like as soon as you know it takes away so many experiences of how we're supposed to live.
Sure, I'm with you.
Like,
on
you know,
it
like
being an unnatural way to live.
Everything is now overshadowed by that. Like everything. Like
it should be already because it's guaranteed already. It's just we don't know when it happens. It does happen to all of us.
I wonder if there's something about knowing, like, and you obviously I can't change it. This is going to happen, but I wonder if there's any part of you that would live trying to prevent it. You know, like, or it would be just like, okay, I know this is going to happen, but let's see if I can outdo death.
But it would be a guarantee that,
like, it was just a part of life.
Day.
You know, that's just how you're going to die.
Yeah.
When would you want to find out? If you could choose a point in your life, would you want to know when you're a kid? Like, hey, like you're coming of age, you're like, whatever it is, like at a bar mitzvah for Jews. All right, your bar mitzvah, here's your death date and here's how you do it. Or like, what age would you want to know? 18?
No, I don't think I'd be equipped mentally at that stage. I'm just thinking present day, right? Can't change the past. So if it actually happened, then today.
But let's say, like, hypothetical world, everyone knows from them, like,
from a certain time?
From the moment you're born, a fax comes out of this fax machine that says, this is your death date, this is how you die, and they put it in a folder.
Jordan makes fun of me for not being on social. He's using fax machines.
Bro.
It depends, because sadly, you know, there would be people, if we said 18 or if we said 25 is kind of the number for some reason coming to mind for me, but there would be people who didn't make it until then.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Pick another number.
If another one has to do with death, I'm really going to be upset. 8.
I'm going to do 9.
Stop it. Stop it. Are you serious? 8 has to do with death?
No, it doesn't. I just feel like we need to go a little, it's another like big topic, and I think we should go a little lighter after this.
Okay.
Target has the store, Target. They have this festive stuffing flavored popcorn, and it's a bag of 5 servings for $2.99. The macros aren't good by any means. It's, you know, it's popcorn, 8 fat, 16 carb, 4 fiber, 5 servings per bag. It's the most delicious popcorn I've ever eaten in my entire life.
And it tastes like Thanksgiving stuffing?
It tastes better somehow.
Oh, wow.
It's Thanksgiving stuffing flavored, but it is unbelievable.
Is there anything in it besides popcorn?
Nope.
Wow. So they literally just have a seasoning that tastes like stuffing.
It's very good.
Are you going to have it on Thanksgiving?
No, but I'm going to have it from now until Thanksgiving was my plan. But now I might not, because both times I had it, I had much more than I was anticipating.
Did you eat the whole bag?
One of the times I ate the whole bag, 750 calories. You know, I'm training like you wouldn't believe these days in terms of lifting. Believe.
No one even knows.
No one knows except the other people in my gym, to be honest. But yeah, it's I never have this kind of sensation with salty like you do. I'm a sweet guy, and
you love sweet.
Ice cream, chocolate, those are the things that usually get me. This got me, and so I'm probably going to have it very sparingly until Thanksgiving.
I'm not even going to eat it, because Thanksgiving stuffing is like in my top 10 favorite foods of all time.
And you love popcorn.
And I love popcorn. This is like a death sentence.
Or it's a life sentence for enjoyment.
Are you trying to make me like just super fat?
No, but I don't know. I was trying to give you happiness in your life.
Did we tell the time you told me to start eating more real ice cream?
Yeah, we told that story. It was fun. But we did. I was trying a little N=1 with Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream to calm your stomach when you were having some digestive issues. And first of all, I didn't realize how lactose intolerant you are. And secondly, Jordan eats this whole ice cream on the phone with me in your car, and you're like, oh, I'm so full. Because a pint's probably 1,000 calories. You're like, I'm so full. I'm like, oh man, you didn't have to eat the whole thing. You're like, yeah, well, I'm sitting in my car. You ate the whole thing. And then 20 minutes later, you called me and you're chomping on something. I go, what are you eating? Popcorn. Why? You told me you were stuffed from the Haagen-Dazs. Why are you eating popcorn? You're like, it looked good. I walked by it in CVS and it looked good.
I was already getting ice cream. Might as well.
Yeah, he was already off it for the day. May as well.
Man, is it like is there real texture to the popcorn, or is it super light? Like, is it a heavy popcorn?
No, it's light popcorn. It's the seasoning that is out of this world. I don't know what the food scientists who created this, like, they should win some kind of prize.
I wish they would just sell the seasoning.
Yeah, maybe they will.
You know, like in Chex Mix, how like the best part of the Chex Mix is that really dark crisp.
It's similar to that.
Oh, really?
It's similar to like bold Chex Mix flavoring.
Yeah.
But even better.
Man. And then they started selling that just bags with that like the brown dark chip crisp in it. Yeah, they have bags just of that. They should sell that seasoning. Man, that would be awesome.
This might be a controversial take. I don't like that brown chip.
That's the least surprising thing to me. Of course you don't. Let me guess which one your favorite is. Your favorite the actual Chex?
Be more specific.
The darker Chex?
No, the corn,
the light
one, not
Chex?
the wheat one. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's one of the worst ones in the whole thing.
It's the best one. It's the one that I digest the best. And it's lighter and a little fluffier and more voluminous and delicious. The brown
the little bread stick is the second best, and it's a close second.
That's my second favorite as well.
Okay.
But the brown chip, it's just dense and almost greasy, and
it's crunchy. It's awesome. Yeah,
it's very it like breaks your teeth. It's so crunchy.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to number 8.
Okay, but I already know the answer to this. I must have written this one down.
It's your list.
I must have written this one down right after the last podcast. Because the question is, I literally can't remember the segue or what I was thinking about when I wrote this down. But the question is, how much money do you want? Because, and the conversation would revolve around like a work to enjoyment life ratio, not overextending, overworking. Part of it was I was thinking about if you have a net worth target for your life, like a kind of die with zero book mindset. What are the costs and benefits of achieving that number too quickly versus, if you hit that number at 38 compared to 55, what are the pros and cons of each?
I like this topic.
Okay. All right. What do you think?
Well, I mean, you already have $7 million in the bank.
See, Jordan just says things on the podcast to get a reaction out of me. And that's not true. That's not true. That it's actually fundamentally a false statement. In all respects.
You want me to go first with what I think, like how much money I want?
We don't even have to say specific numbers. I'm almost more interested in, because I feel like your approach is more of a sprint, whereas mine is more of a walk in the park. And I think that is exemplified by our social media usage.
100%.
And even the way we've set up our businesses with one-on-one coaching being non-scalable and a membership being scalable.
Yeah, I also feel like it's largely fueled by your more pragmatic thought process and approach versus my fear-driven approach, which I think is like, whether it's genetic or how we were raised, but like a lot of my drive comes from the fear of losing everything in terms from a business perspective, whereas yours is like, well, I've got this much and I can just do the numbers and logically figure out how much I would need in order to pay these bills, in order to it's you approach money very pragmatically. I approach it I have a bad relationship with money in the same way many people have a bad relationship with food. It's improved over the years.
It's definitely improved. Yep.
It's improved dramatically because you've taught me about it, and like I understand it better now. But
that's
like,
very gracious, but I don't get that much credit. But thank you.
100% you get credit, because and who knows, I'm sure someone else could have taught me about it, but someone else didn't teach me about it. It was you. So like it was that has helped me, but that fear is underlying the sprint that I go on, that I've been on since I was
in college,
a teenager. Yeah, in college. Yeah, early 20s, 21 since I started my business. Yeah. So, I mean, the number that I've made up in my head, I think we spoke about it, is 10 million, is like, which I am nowhere even remotely, not even in the same country as it, never mind the same ballpark, not even in the same nation, potentially not even in the same universe. But
okay, enough. That's
for me is where it's like, because it's not just what I would need for my life. It's I'm thinking, let's say I die, what I want to have available for my wife, my children, their children, to have enough funds to have that money continue to grow long after I'm gone, so that they're taken care of, emergencies, potential world wars, like really taking everything into consideration. That would be like the maximum of what I feel like I would need or want.
Oh, that's interesting that you feel like that's the maximum. I didn't know that. I thought that was today's target. That's interesting.
No, that's like, so that is the target, but it is the maximum. I'm targeting the maximum.
So if you were at 8, you might feel comfortable. And by the way, we need to think about this in terms of how much income your assets can produce. And so stocks, bonds, cash in high yield savings accounts, all of these are assets. When you start to accumulate net worth, which happens, time is the number one factor in net worth, right? If you compare a 25-year-old to a 65-year-old, the 65-year-old has more working years, has more accumulated gains on their investments, has bigger net worth. That's what we're thinking about in terms of what kind of lifestyle do I want, and what kind of return on assets will fund it. And so if we go with a conservative 5% per year return on investment on $10 million, that would be $500,000 a year in income, essentially. Right. And another thing to think about is overshooting that number. And because when you talk about, I want my kids and my family to be well taken care of, if God forbid something bad were to happen to me, I think what a lot of people, and some of my friends in the hedge fund world, in the private equity world, in like the big money game, where 10 isn't their number, where 25 to 50 to 100 plus is their number, and the ones who talk about really wanting to look after their kids, or really wanting like their kids to have a great life, I think there's not only diminishing marginal utility on more money for kids. I think it's actually a U-shaped curve where once you pass a certain point, giving your kids too much actually decreases their quality of life via spoiling them, via, essentially
100%.
the type of struggles or lack of struggles that kid might have as a result of having quote unquote too much. I was pretty with you on 10 million for a while, and then was maybe thinking 7 to 8. I feel like 5, like it really depends on how much
the day. It depends on the day. Sometimes you're with me, sometimes you're not with me.
No. I think it depends more on, I mean, sure, in terms of our conversations about it, but it depends on the type of lifestyle that one wants, right? If you think about the potential returns of that, it depends on how much you want to be working and until what age you want to be working. And it depends on the margin of safety that you want to build in, right? Like like 2 or 3 could easily be enough. But then what if, and then you can play out any what if scenarios with market crashes, with war,
health
with,
crises, whatever.
Yeah,
things like that.
we don't analyze 50-year chunks of time very effectively, right? We have a large recency bias as human beings. And so we're looking at, the 2008 stock market crash, or we're looking at what's happened in the last 10 to 20 years, but not looking at things in 50 to 75-year chunks of time, depending on how old you are.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot about health crises, and I've seen and heard horror stories of people who just drain their accounts when horrible health things you know what I mean? So it's a lot of it is based around worst case scenario, which is literally how my brain works.
I'm going to devil's advocate that with there's easier ways than having 10 mil in the bank to hedge against that. And that would be like having high premium life insurance / having really good health insurance.
Yep.
Right? Those situations do happen, but it would be cheaper to have a very high premium, high payout life insurance policy than it would be to work your butt off to have,
of course,
X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
The reason you're doing it isn't exclusively in case you pass early.
Correct.
Gosh,
correct.
You took us back to death here. I didn't take us back to death on this one. I'm getting uncomfortable. It's interesting to think about. I think it's good to have those goals, not only for the majority of the population, sadly, who are possibly undershooting, like we'll call it a retirement number, but when you're working for yourself, you could pick the speed at which you're earning. It doesn't have to be a 60 or 65-year-old target. It could be a target at a younger age, but it's also interesting for people, the minority of people who are oversavers. So not to make the mistake of overworking / oversaving / underspending, underenjoying life, and ending up with, oh my gosh, I have 30 million in the bank and you're 60, but you sacrificed so much for that number, not realizing what you missed along the way.
Yeah. Oversavers are like overexercisers. It's a real problem, but not nearly as big of a problem as the undersavers and underexercisers.
Boom.
Population wise.
Analogy king. Yes. That's perfect. That is absolutely perfect.
7.
Oh man, okay. Instagram's incredible.
Oh wow, yeah, you love Instagram.
Instagram. What have I been doing since literally 2017? Why has no one told me that the content on? Okay, so on Twitter, I've already told you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing political arguments. I'm seeing people dying. I'm seeing like bots of like nudity. I'm seeing like all kinds of garbage. YouTube Shorts, fine, like reasonable. I don't know. Maybe I see a Chris Williamson podcast clip. Maybe I see a workout kind of educational thing. Maybe I see I don't even know what I see in YouTube Shorts. I started consuming on Instagram. This app is the best.
Yeah. They've got their algorithm down.
There is so much funny content on Instagram. And I see friends and family and, people I want to see, people I know. See some people in the mentorship. That's fun. I see very enjoyable content. I've been sending you all kinds of stuff. You
never used to do this.
The leg day singing. Well, it's been about 3 days. We'll see if I'm just getting Instagram's absolute cream of the crop right now, because everything I'm seeing has like 5 million likes and 1 million shares on it. So maybe there's a limited supply of their best stuff.
There's no limited supply. It's unlimited. Wow. And I think what's going to happen, I think you're going to get sucked in the vortex, and out of nowhere, you're going to be like, I need to get out of here. Like I'm in way too deep. Then eventually you're going to delete it. But dude, Instagram, it's so addicting. It's scary. Like I literally need to leave my phone in the other room. I can't have it next to me. I like during dinner or at any point, or if I'm outside, if I'm on a walk, like when we're on a family walk, I put my phone in the stroller, because if it's in my pocket, it will come out of my pocket.
Smart.
And I obviously don't want to leave the house without it in case of an emergency. So it's in the stroller. If we're at dinner, it's in the bedroom. like if I'm outside playing, it's inside. I can't have it on me because if it's on me, it's bad news bears. It's so addicting.
You're not only have the potential to be consuming really good
DMs
content
and all of that. Yeah,
you also have DMs, you have engagement on your posts, you have comments, you have, is someone leaving a bad comment? Do I need to go to war here? Or is everyone saying they love me? That's dopamine. Like you have, it's Vortex is the perfect word for you.
Yeah.
Because there are so many types of addictiveness and pleasure built within it for someone who's consuming and creating on the app.
Yeah, that's really true. It's not just about, a lot of it is DMs, to be honest. A lot of DMs.
Get a lot of DMs. I
get a lot of DMs. So many.
Yep. Are you, do you get a lot of DMs, Jord, because you're out there pounding away, cold DMing people saying like, hey, inner circle, 20% off for you only, like finding random people on all over the internet. DMs. Are your DMs so flooded because you send 1,000 to 2,000 cold DMs a day, just pounding the pavement and trying to build your business that way?
For everyone who can't tell or doesn't know, Mike is making fun of the mastermind business gurus who this is their business strategy. You cold DM as many people as you can every day to try and sell them on your program.
You should never post on social media because that doesn't work. You need to be cold DMing. They say in a social media post to grow their guru business. It's wild.
It's insane. It's really insane. You don't need to be posting on social media, and then you go to their social media and they're posting every day and they're getting like 4 likes and they're like, this is how we made 7 figures as a business without posting on social media. And I'm like, you literally post on social media every day, multiple times a day. Mm-hmm. And then they just start running paid ads and cold DMing people. Yeah, it's insanity.
That's the one thing I haven't enjoyed is Instagram has way more sponsored posts than any other platform.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh. And it's mostly gurus.
Yeah.
It's mostly the same 5 gurus.
Yeah. Yeah.
It probably is for a lot of people listening too, you know?
I end up clicking on it because I want to see what they're doing and I like analyzing, and then I end up getting their stuff all the time, which is really obnoxious. But yeah, like I'm like, okay, let me see what you're offering. Let me see how you're presenting it. Da, da, da. Yeah, I actually almost left a really negative comment on an advertisement I saw yesterday. I was like, I'm not gonna do this, but there's an advertisement for this mobility page that was saying, hey, this is how you get your full front splits in 4 weeks. And you could see the before picture and the after picture was this woman who like could not even go as low as I could when I first started, and then full outrageous front split with like feet elevated in the after. And they were like, this is 30 days. And you look at the picture, you can tell she was pretending to not be flexible in the first picture. Like she 100% had the ability to go as far down as she could, but like she was pretending to not have, and I almost was like, this is very obvious, and this is terrible, like disingenuous marketing. You guys are at, but I was like, I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna do this.
Yeah, that was probably for the better to not comment. But it sounds like the stretching and mobility equivalent of the let me look as terrible as I can with bad lighting in a before picture, followed by optimal lighting, pump, etc., and then after photo.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's funny. I will say, like, because virality is more, I would say virality is more common and feasible at this point, the way that social media works. I think steroid use and performance enhancing drugs among everyday fitness professionals is getting crazier than it's ever been before, because there are comments on people's posts of people who are legitimately like jacked and shredded and insanely good physiques naturally, and people are like, do you even lift? Like, you don't even look like you lift. I'm like, what the fuck? In what world do you think that person doesn't look insane, like in outrageous good shape? It's crazy.
I know Dylan in the mentorship has mentioned that he has gotten comments like that before. Anytime I've ever seen him,
good shape.
I'm like, look at the vascularity on his arms. Like, he looks great. And the fact that I haven't seen those comments, because I've only been on Instagram for 3 days, but I've heard him say that he's gotten them. Like, insane. And by the way, number 10 on my list here, fake natties. So
Yes. Oh, okay.
perfect.
Yeah, let's do it.
Perfect segue. No, I'm completely with you. The number of fitness influencers who are taking steroids, posting shirtless pictures, not telling their audience that they take steroids is at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of people in 2014. And so the fact that it's continuing to increase, and we throw in other ways to grow or improve your physique, mostly via peptides. And a lot of these people who are taking peptides, or a lot of the guys who are taking them, are peptides that help you build muscle, stay lean, etc., are also on a test base.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
But
and they say they're not because it's at like a TRT. Like, oh, it's TRT. It's not steroids. It's like, it's fucking steroids, you liar. Like,
you're injecting testosterone at the age of 25 when you're already like in really solid shape, but you want to make more money. And so you do this and you don't disclose it to your audience. And by the way,
if it's 35, 45, 55, 65, like, it's still injecting testosterone, which is like, that's fine if that's what you need, but you're still taking steroids.
I'm with you. Yeah. Yes, you are technically taking steroids if you take TRT, no matter what your age is. What pisses me off though is not the 65-year-old or 55-year-old dude whose test is 200 and he gets it up to 650 or 700. What pisses me off is the 26-year-old whose test is 500-600 while he's partying like a maniac and not sleeping and working all the time. And then he gets it up to 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 and does the shirtless pictures and does the,
delts and traps come out of nowhere, super lean. Like,
yeah. And all of this, I don't even think it would hurt these dudes' businesses. I see it mostly in guys, but obviously it happens with women too. I don't even think it would hurt their business if they were transparent about just be honest about it. It's definitely an ego thing where, because I've put myself in this position because I've considered taking stuff at a couple times in my life. And one of the reasons is I know that if and when I know if I ever take anything, I will disclose it publicly. If I haven't made content for 10 years, I'm going to make a piece of content about this. I know there will be comments from people saying like, oh, you look like this because you take steroids, which is going to piss me off. And so I understand the impulse to withhold that information and then rationalize, well, I still work hard. I train harder than I was when I was natural. My diet is more dialed than it's ever been. Like, those are really the reasons. It's like, no, it's the 250 mgs of tests that you're injecting your butt every week. Like, that's what's going on.
But also a lot of these people who are injecting 250, 300 mgs or even less per week, a lot of them are not living healthy lifestyles. They are eating like garbage. They are not training as hard, and their physiques still look really fucking good because of what they're taking. So it's like, I understand why those comments would be there. I think a lot of the people who take them, not all of them, but I think a lot of the people who take them, they don't realize how much help they're getting from the drugs that they're taking. I mean, and this is you'll hear this all the time. You will hear this all the time. I'll never forget the first time I heard this. I'm not going to say any names because I have so many friends and colleagues who take them. And
it's an outrageous percentage of the fitness industry.
It's huge. This one guy that I was talking to one time, he basically, he goes, he was telling me why he was getting so much stronger. And he said, oh, and by the way, I'm on less drugs now than I've ever been in my life. And I just remember being like, in my head, because I wasn't going to say anything, this guy was like 300 pounds and shredded. And I was like, you're on less drugs now. Like, so like, you're still taking a lot, not to mention you've been on way more before. And you're saying that it's your programming that's leading to these results. And like, but I know, I mean, I've seen a lot of these guys who eat like shit, don't train that hard. They are partying a lot, drinking a lot, and they still look fucking amazing. And I'm like, and could they look even better if they were more dialed? Yeah, for sure, they could look better. But to 99% of people looking at them, like, holy shit. And then you see their workouts and you see what they're doing, and they're like, that's wild. Like, that is crazy that you look that good.
Yep. cap delts out of nowhere, shoulder striations out of nowhere, upper traps out of nowhere,
ab veins, super lean. Like, yeah. And their performance is really good. It's like, it's crazy.
And part of the reason that I'm passionate about this topic specifically is because I was the naive person who believed so many people were natural for so many years. Like in my teens, into my 20s, into my mid 20s, it wasn't until my late 20s and when I started to make more connections in the industry and get to know some of these people and then understand like, oh, you actually do take stuff. Like you always said you didn't take stuff. And there were one or two where I was like hook, line, and sinker believed them, and the level of disillusionment when I realized, oh, you're actually on a lot of steroids. And like you've made videos about steroids that say, I would never take steroids. Not only are you on them, but you're on a lot of them. Yeah. So that level of deception and dishonesty just it really rubs me the wrong way because I've been on the other end of that and like bought the programs and you know,
I think most people in the world are look at the fitness industry in the same way that most children look at Santa Claus. Like most children at a young age legitimately believe Santa Claus is real. And most people, including adults, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, look at people with insane physiques on social media and think, oh, that's just natural. Like they don't know. They actually legitimately believe. I look at Liver King's comments, who has come out and it's been exposed that he was spending $12,000 to $15,000 a month on his drugs. And people in the comments to this day who haven't seen that he's been exposed are like, hey, like I wonder, is this guy taking any steroids? Like, and people are like, absolutely not. There's no way. He says he hasn't. And then people get blood. Like it came out. He apologized for it. But it's like that physique. People aren't sure if it's natural or not, which is just crazy.
So Derek from More Plates, More Dates dropped the email that Liver King sent him before Liver King started making content about whatever steroids he was taking, whatever ones he wanted to take, asking him questions. And then, like you said, Liver King came out and apologized for lying about being natural. But that physique is so far down the line of unnatural.
Yeah.
Like the fact that a lot of people think that is natural just shows like the natty cap is so far away from that. Like there is so much room between peak natty physique and Liver King.
Yeah. Yes.
Like an insane amount of,
Yeah.
Which just shows you how many people who are on really solid amounts of gear claiming natty, posting all kinds of shirtless workouts and pictures, etc.
And we also, and it should go without saying, but a lot of women too. And this also, I also think it doesn't just go for injectables, it also goes for surgeries. And like to have changes to your body, whether it's butt changes or whatever the fuck, that I think both men and women do that. I think men are more likely to inject and women are more likely to have procedures done to change their physique. And it happens all the time.
And it's a free country. Like do what you want to do with your body. You know, if we were having a one-on-one conversation, that probably wouldn't be my advice, but at a high level, do what you want, but don't post like revealing pictures or revealing workout pictures and say my workout plan is how I look like this without revealing all the procedures and then buy my program on the back end. That's where it gets swarmy and unethical.
Yeah.
But yeah, you make a great point. Procedures, BBLs, I don't even know what all, tummy tucks, all kinds of stuff.
That was one of your most recent pieces of content from like 6 years ago about BBLs. You just were like, I'm going to go on and fucking lose it over BBL. I remember that. That was a really good video.
I'll never forget. And I'm such an idiot at business because I didn't adjust anything as a result of it. but I remember within a couple of days that video had double and this is where virality was harder. That video on Instagram had twice as many views as followers that I had, which had never happened to me. Everything. This was early 2017, I want to say. Everything I'd ever done was pretty limited to my audience, which is more how social media was at the time. But seeing how many views it got outside, I was like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. And then just didn't follow up with any kind of similar strategy.
Whoa, cool. All right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Moving on.
Yeah. Okay. We have a brand new
Oh, yes. Let's go.
concept. Do you remember, I'm thinking of, random TV shows. I'm thinking of cliffhangers. There's something to the preview of next week. They used to do this in TV shows that, weren't bingeable because we didn't have Netflix, but it played on TV. And then at the end of the episode, there was scenes for next week.
Oh,
to excite people for the next week. So we are going to combine that concept with the idea that as an introvert, I like having time to chew on a concept, to have a question, to meditate on it during my workout, to make up a conversation in my head where I'm arguing both sides of it, to think of what my position is, and then to steel man the opposing position and really beat an idea to death and then talk about it rather than just talking about it, which is your method or something you're very good at. It's a compliment. We're going to start picking the next week's questions during the current podcast.
I hate this. I'm not neutral about it. I really don't like it.
Okay. All right. Cool. That's okay. We're going to test it. I'm jaying this one hard because I am excited.
So now part of the podcast is planning.
Yeah, but then we don't have to do the work in the next episode. It's delayed gratification. We're essentially eating a sweet potato in a chicken breast that was overcooked intentionally to wear out your jaw so you wouldn't want to eat that much, which is a great 2011 dieting strategy if anyone's interested. That's what we're doing in terms of content, as opposed to just eating marshmallows.
Dude, that was a great 2011 strategy. People were like, "Oh, this is genius."
Bro, it was within the first year or two where I was a big Martin Burkhan fan, and I'll never forget fasting until noon. And once noon hit, I had those 3 chicken breasts cooked, 90 grams of protein, overcooked with buffalo sauce, no barbecue, no ketchup. I didn't want those extra carbs, just these sauces. And my jaw was so fatigued by the end of that meal. Thank you very much for listening. Next week on the How to Become a Personal Trainer podcast, we have some very exciting topics we're going to cover, including what motivates you to prioritize fitness or healthy eating when you want to give up, tips on getting so sore that you're unable to work out for multiple days. We have a woman who asked a question. She said she is trying to train like a man to build muscle because she's struggling to build muscle. So she's been bench pressing every single day. Is that a good idea? And someone who asked, their latest body scan says they're losing muscle and fat. How do you minimize muscle loss while losing body fat? In addition to the many other great subjects we're going to be talking about. Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Jordan, you got anything?
That's it. Mike's got a big announcement on the next episode as well, so make sure you tune in for that.
Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. Good memory.
We appreciate you. We love you. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.